Hi, I'm Jason from the company Blockout Blinds, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today I'm going to be talking about roller blinds and what is overroll and underroll. Well, we get asked this question a lot because in our industry it's a term thrown around that we just know instantly what it means, but the average consumer out there doesn't really know what it means. So what is overroll and what is underroll? Well, here I have a roller blind. As you can see, I've taken away the cords on the side just to make it easier to hold. Now, what overroll and underroll means is just basically the direction that the fabric comes off the roll. Imagine this was hanging with the window behind the blind. This would be considered underroll because the fabric is rolling off the back or under the blind. However, if we were to turn this around and install it this way with the window behind it, this would be considered overroll because it's rolling over the top of the blind. Now, what I'll also talk about is the things to consider when selecting overroll and underroll, and what those things are as the look of the blind, the fabric involved, the light, and also any obstacles that you might need to get around. Let's start with the look. Generally with roller blinds, more often than not, we do install them in the underroll position. However, in the underroll position, you can see the roller at the top very clear. And some people think this is not a very clean finish or a clean look. So that's why a lot of people tend to go for overroll and install it this way. So now the roller is sort of disappeared and there's a nice, clean, modern finish. Let's have a look at a couple of pictures and see what I'm talking about. In this first picture here, you can see 3 roller blinds installed over a sliding door, and they're in different positions of height just for photo purposes. And as you can see, they're in the overroll position, and that's the more clean look where you don't see the roller. In this second photo here of a more traditional looking blind with the scallop at the bottom, you can clearly see that the blind is underroll, and the roll at the top is quite visible. Now it really comes down to personal taste, if you like overroll or underroll better. However, it's sort of 50-50. Some like overroll, some like underroll. It's really up to you. The next thing to consider is the fabric. Now this is really only a concern if you are going for the underroll look. Now, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but obviously we have fabrics for blinds, and some fabrics have the same colour on the back, and other fabrics have a white backing, and that's generally to keep the heat away. This fabric, as you can see, has a white backing. So if we were to install this onto a blind in the underroll position, like such, as the fabric rolls up and comes around the top, the white backing is exposed, which means you're going to see the colour of the fabric below the blind and the backing of the fabric on the actual roller. Now if we look at this picture here, this shows a blind on the face, which is a block out, and as you can see, the fabric is sort of a beigey colour and the backing is white, and you can see the white roller. Now, there are people out there that absolutely hate this look, but then again there are other people that love it. Why do they love it? Well, they really like it because when the blind's down you see the full colour. When the blind is completely up, it's pretty much a white colour and it disappears into the background of the room if you have a white, beigey, colour scheme throughout your house. So that's the main thing to consider with fabrics, because you don't want to get an underroll and sort of not think about the fact that you're going to have the white coming over the top. The next thing to consider is the light. Now, once again, this is really only an issue if you do like the overroll look. So what am I talking about? Well, first of all, let's have a look at this photo here where you can see a blind in the underroll position mounted on the frame of the window. As you can see, the fabric runs down very close to the frame of the window, which means that hardly any light will pass through behind it. Now imagine if this roller blind was in the overroll position. The fabric would then be about 60 millimetres off the frame of the window, which means lots of light would come through. So maybe this will make a bit more sense here. Here's the blind, here's the frame of the window. In that situation, it's very close to the frame and not much light comes through. Same blind mounted overroll on the frame of the window. Let's have a look. You've got quite a bit of a gap between the frame and the blind letting the light through. So that's another thing to consider. However, if the blind is in a recess, it doesn't really matter if it's overroll or underroll in that regard, because it will be in the window and the side of the window will be like this, and the only light gap coming through will be between the edge of the window and the fabric, which will be 15 millimeters, and if it's overroll or underroll, that's not going to change at all. The last thing to consider could be obstacles. Occasionally you need to put blinds in situations where they may have to come down over door handles or window winders, etc. And by going overroll, you stand the fabric further out and hence can get over more obstacles. If you have a look at this photo here, you can see 3 roller blinds installed over some inward opening French doors and 2 windows at the side. And obviously they're installed overroll because you can see them hanging quite some distance from the wall. And the reason for that is because of the handles on the French doors. If the French doors weren't there or the handles weren't there, we could have put the blinds under roll and brought them down very close to the glass, but in this situation we couldn't, so overroll was the only option. It wasn't because they liked it or didn't like it, it was just because of practicality, it had to be installed that way. So there you have it, we've covered overroll and underroll. 1, what it looks like. 2, how the fabric comes into play in consideration. 3, the light and what you might need to think about there. And 4, obstacles and how that affects your choice. So now you know all there is about overroll and underroll. So I hope I've helped you out today, and until next time.